Hi, I'm Denise Watts with GWNNBC.com and What's Happening Right Now. We're in front of Tom Kizer's office in downtown Howell. It's March 19th, 2018, and we're going to go in and sit and talk to Tom and get his opinion on the Judge Brennan story. Thanks, Tom, for sitting down with us again today for an update on Judge Brennan saga. So can you tell us anything new that you know about the case?
All I can relate to you basically is that I know that there's an active investigation still pending, which pleases me because I think that it's essential that that everybody gets closure to this in some way. I have my opinions, but my opinions mean nothing really. It's dependent upon what the standpoint of the Judicial Tenure Commission does with regard to her bench position, and then with regard to the Attorney General in terms of what crimes, if any, they think have been committed. And all I want is them to complete an investigation, get some closure to us so that everybody knows what's going on. I mean, it just seems like it's been 14 or 15 months almost now, and nothing.
Well, I have a question that many people have wondered too, is how did the judge get that case to be the judge for a murder trial when she's a divorce judge?
Well, we have a unique circumstance in our county in that our judges have received permission from the Supreme Court Administrator's Office to assign different judges to different dockets. And I believe that Judge Brennan was given the opportunity, or the assignment, if you will, by the Chief Judge at the time, with the approval of the Supreme Court Administrator's Office, to sit as a presiding judge in that matter. I mean, as a practical matter, the district judges used to handle routine traffic matters, misdemeanors. Mm-hmm. So those judges should be familiar with criminal law to a large extent, and handling the criminal case, whether it's a larceny case or whether it's a murder case. You know, all the judge has to do is call balls and strikes. If they do the job properly, they sit there, they listen, they give each side their opportunity to be heard, they give a defendant a fair trial, they're not biased or prejudiced against one side or the other. And sometimes they make mistakes because they're human beings. They make mistakes on interpretation of law. That's what we have appeal courts for, and they can be appealed. The problem occurs when a judge becomes so involved with a witness, and in this case, the claim is, at least the evidence that I've seen, is strong that she and Detective Furlong had a more than just normal relationship, and for that, she should not have been sitting on the case. And our local prosecutor, I have a real problem with what's occurred or not occurred from his office. He's quick to say, to make himself look good, that he's filed a complaint against her with the Judicial Tenure Commission, but he's not been so quick to determine or assist in determining whether or not an individual who is in prison deserves a fair trial. And that I think he should be held accountable for in some fashion. What that fashion is, I have no interest in determining.
Well, who charges her then with the perjury part of the whole situation?
Well, that's a good question, and it's a question that has become more complicated because our prosecutor, Mr. Valancourt, has apparently seen fit to absolve himself, if you will, of any responsibility to uphold the laws of our particular community with regard to crimes involving someone who he supported in an election when he was running for office and when she was running for office. So he I think, passed the ball to the Attorney General. Now, do I have personal knowledge of that? I don't. Do I believe that's what occurred? Yes. I know that the Attorney General is involved in considering the investigative report by the police when they get done. But maybe Mr. Valancourt will someday step back in. I don't have a clue.
So who does take her off the bench? Is it the Attorney General, the judicial tenure? And as far as you know, the investigation still is going on, right?
I mean, I don't sit with any of the investigators, so I don't know what they're doing. I know what I hear, and I hear from some people that the police, the state police, are still investigating, which I'm happy that they're doing it. I don't know why it's taking so long, but I'm happy that they're doing it. I know that the JTC, the Judicial Tenure Commission, is still investigating. I mean, I hear that from quite a number of people, and I've actually heard it from investigators that they're investigating, and they've acknowledged they're investigating. But I don't want to be. You don't want to be just super critical to criticize, but the Judicial Tenure Commission is comprised, the great majority of which are judges, former judges, lawyers, and I just concern that judges always are looking out for their own turf. And so it bothers me some, the makeup of the Judicial Tenure Commission, not just with regard to Judge Brennan's investigation, but with regard to any investigation of these judges. It takes forever. I will be 99 years old, and I started out when I was 20 on this case, it seems like.
Well, I'm sure you've heard that the administrative clerk's suing her now. What is your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are that there are a lot of people that if they had the standing to sue, should have sued. Most people that work for judges fear judges. I mean, there's a respect, but there's a fear. Most people who appear in front of judges have a respect and a fear. And employees, they need their paychecks. So, the fact that she has, Ms. Zisk has filed a lawsuit, I say hooray for her. Do I know what the results are going to be? I don't. I'm not involved in it at all, and I know what's been alleged because I've read it. She has a good attorney. That's one thing I know, and so that's a good thing.
Well, thanks, Tom, for sitting down with us again and getting your opinion here. I know a lot of us that are following it are just as anxious to see what's going to happen here, and that the right thing should be done.
The right thing is to bring this to closure. I mean, I get calls all the time, and it just continues. And the calls are from litigants, the calls are from attorneys, and it's frustrating. It's tough. It's tough for everybody. And demeanor is something that has been a problem for Judge Brennan for quite a number of years. And finally, demeanor is at least being looked at, but there's enough other stuff that's being looked at that I'm just very optimistic that the right thing will be done. My version of the right thing and her version of the right thing are two different things, I'm sure.
Well, thanks again, Tom.
You're welcome.
And thanks for watching G1 NBC News. I'm Denise Watts.